ID Software and Bethesda's 2016 remake of iconic 90s first-person shooter Doom is something that I had a very interesting relationship with. As a then adolescent boy who loved anything gratuitous or bizarre, I was ecstatic upon its announcement for Nintendo Switch in 2017. When I got it in 2018 and played it, however, I almost immediately tossed it to the side because difficulty. The only first-person shooter I'd ever really played at that point was Halo, and this was just a PC version of Combat Edition, which made the rounds on USB back in year 7. Essentially, I sucked ass at it. Call it egotism or whatever, but I didn't touch that shit again until recently. With my brain a little bigger, my reflexes a little faster, and a newfound patience that came from finally completing high school, I was ready to give this game another crack. Join me as I rip and tear my way through Doom 2016 and recount my experiences of its normal mode, also known as Hurt Me Plenty, in this video. This might be a review, an essay, we'll just see what I end up putting in the thumbnail. From the opening cutscene, I'm reminded of the gritty premise which I remember finding eye-rollingly corny on my first playthrough. But this time I set aside my sookiness and pressed onwards. A few hordes of squishy demons made me feel genuine pity as I mowed through them. They weren't really hurting anybody after all. Fast forward past the opening title monologue, a couple of genuinely stressful encounters and the occasional detour to find a secret, and I could not tell you why I gave this game up at all. I was having a blast to the point that I could not put it down. This addictive quality can be attributed to a few main aspects. The first is the mood created. I couldn't tell you how this game manages to walk a line between gratuitous, charming, and nerve-wracking with such poise, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna have to try my best. The soundtrack probably has something to do with this. It both mirrors and sets the tone for the way you want to be experiencing this world. I guess you'd call it death metal, and it really does its job so well. It lends itself to the thematic core of this game, being the link between scientific progress and the occult. More importantly, however, it just ramps up your stress and reflexes in the best way possible, drawing you even further into the gameplay. The storyline here is aided by this, bringing us into the aftermath of an experiment gone oh so wrong. You are the Doomslayer, tasked with slaying demons and preventing the creation of a permanent portal between hell and our world. I mean, technically it's on Mars, but that's still just a little too close for comfort when we're talking demons. What's great about this protagonist is his motivations. He doesn't seem to care about a greater good or helping out those he meets. He's just angry as fuck and likes killing stuff. I mean, how much more tongue-in-cheek can you get, am I right, gamers? Speaking of those he meets, something which stood out in this game was the voice acting. Maybe it's just because I was a Nintendo kid, but man, does this voice acting nail the atmosphere they were going for. Lots of guttural, rumbling voices and such, which just make it all the more of an experience. Another thing I gotta bring up is how smooth it runs. I can literally play this game handheld or on the TV and it just works. I can't recall any sections of intense slowdown even with hordes of enemies and drops on screen. I'm fairly sure they downgraded the Switch port, which could be an issue for some people, but I couldn't care less. What is something of an issue are the disgustingly long load times. I feel like I've sat 5 minutes between levels just because of this glaring oversight, but this is really my only complaint, so I'm willing to turn the other cheek. But everything I've brought up thus far is merely supplementary, setting the stage for the main player. After all, what would a game be without gameplay? And oh my f***ing god, does Doom deliver. As I mentioned earlier, my only real shooter growing up was Halo. It's safe to say I'm a newbie to the genre, but even I can see just how unique this style of gameplay is. As opposed to other shooters which favor ducking for cover and attacking from a distance, Doom not only encourages, but literally forces you into the fray. Melee attacks like chainsaws are basically a necessity for clearing out tougher enemies, and it really forces you to think on your feet, running, jumping, and constantly maneuvering add a basic parkour element to the game. You're constantly about to die and having to kill another enemy to gain the health or ammo. You need to make it another few seconds. And yeah, I'm sure some guy on YouTube has completed the game with his feet with 5 FPS and not gotten hit, whatever, but I'm just a regular dude, so this was my experience, and I'm pretty proud of what I did, okay? Your arsenal of weapons add to this experience, provided you keep them stocked with ammo. You can switch between a large range that you'll get to know very well over the course of this campaign. Certain enemies are easier dealt with using certain weapons, and you'll come to work out what works best for you as you progress. As for rewards, this game takes a really engaging approach with them. Every bloodbath you engage in offers up various goodies, as does exploration and discovery. These can be traded in for perks to both your suit and your arsenal. These are frequent and they unlock some awesome upgrades which really make you feel stronger. which is good because the demons only get bigger and tougher. Choosing the way to spend your hard-earned upgrades feels like the closest hell could ever get to window shopping. It also encourages you to seek out hidden clusters of enemies or timed challenge rooms because the rewards are super worth it. And I think that about covers my experience of Doom 2016. I personally adored this game and believe that if you like shooters and don't live in a super conservative household, then you will too. The graphics are stellar, as is the voice acting, story, and tone. The gameplay is literally otherworldly, and delivers the perfect blend of tension and excitement to keep anybody invested. I'd give this game a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching this review of Doom 2016. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the video, be sure to check out some of my others and hit the subscribe button as well as the bell. I'm trying to get this channel off the ground, and any suggestions you leave in the comments will definitely be employed in future uploads. Thanks again for watching. See ya.